Okay, welcome back to another amazing, another hopefully hilarious episode of The Shift Show. I'm Kayla, your host, who is also very tired because they have been taking my soul away lately. I don't know what's in the air, but spring break's in the air. Um, spring break and sales are in the air, and let's just say my body's feeling it. So sit back, grab a drink of choice. I fear I don't have mine, so maybe we should change that. And let's dive into this great and amazing episode. Okay, I know this is the place where I'm telling you guys, you can come and laugh, vent, relate about the chaos of working retail. However, I do want to take a moment to pause and hold space for the heartbreaking tragedy that took place at Florida State University. I'm currently filming this, or like recording this really, on Friday, April 18th. However, on Thursday, April 17th, a Florida State University student, quote unquote, is accused of killing 2 people and injuring 6 others in a shooting at the university. He's the son of a local sheriff deputy and had spent time training with law enforcement and serving on a sheriff's advisory council in the years before the attack. When he was taken into custody after being shot and injured by University PD, the suspect is a 20-year-old. He was carrying a handgun that used to be the service weapon of sheriff's deputy, his mother, according to the officials and records, especially holding space. However, for student, I believe her name is Stephanie Horowitz. I could be pronouncing that wrong because I am very bad with names. Especially holding space for her, of course, with everyone. However, Stephanie was a student of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in 2018. She was a freshman. Witnessed that shooting, one of the deadliest school shootings I think ever. She was a freshman then. I do not know what year she is at FSU. However, she is currently attending FSU in Tallahassee. Yeah, we are especially holding space, taking a pause for Stephanie and, of course, everyone involved, the whole entire FSU community as they navigate this unthinkable pain. No one should ever have to endure the fear, trauma of gun violence, especially at school. Especially in higher education where it's meant for learning and growth and connecting with others. And to those affected, if I have any listeners out there, if I have any listeners who have family, etc., we're holding space for you and standing with you. And just know, if you are struggling right now, please know you're not alone. Reach out, check in with each other, and take care of your mental health. In moments like this, community matters more than ever. Okay, those days where I hope the microphone sounds the same because I sat back because I was like, why am I sitting up so straight? I can literally relax. This is my house. However, let me point a little better towards me. Maybe that will do it. This might sound the same. Hold on. You ever have those days where you're like, what the is going on right now? Actually, what is in the air? I don't know what's going on. There's too much happening. There's too much going on today. Let's just say working retail, especially the places I've worked, are like that every damn day. Literally, I cannot make this shit up, at all. Because at this store that I'm currently at, not so much. But the one where I spent, 3 years and, I don't know, 9 months or whatever. I don't know exactly, the nitty-gritty details. But the place I spent, majority of the retail time I've been doing at, I just felt like everything that could have happened would. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the first episode, I brought up how, this lady peed on the floor. Mind you, people expelling their bowels, their people peeing on the floor was not, rare. That was a common thing. We had one guy who came in and was like, I need to use the restroom right now. We only had one because it was not a big store, so we only had one, but there was a line. So he decided to just whip it out in the store. You pissed, well, I guess I'll just piss on the floor. And like get the stuff he needed and then checked out. Mind you, I saw him do that. Like I was like, oh, I called the closing manager and I was like, hey girl, this man is over here peeing in the corner. And she's like, oh great, right. So I happened to go back up to the register. I didn't like work. I did like something else at the time. I don't know what I was doing, but it wasn't like cashiering basically. Went up there, he comes up there and I was like, I'm actually not touching your things. You just pissed. You just whipped it out. I know you didn't wash your hands because you didn't go in the restroom. You just whipped it out and grabbed these things and want me to touch it. Oh, this is like right around the time I had been promoted, but I like had not started at the store, and I was like, I'm not touching that. No, I'm not doing it. And he's like, oh, give me the manager, and I was like, I am the manager. Cause let me just say, at my other store, they love me bad. Like they like me at this store, but like I don't know them that well. But like they love me bad at my other store. I could do stuff like that. I was like, I am the manager. I'm just helping them out. You know, just something to get under his skin. Like, bro, if you decided to whip it out, piss on the floor, and then go buy stuff instead of buying your stuff and peeing in the parking lot next to your car. I don't know. I just feel like as a man, you literally have the option. Well, not legally, but you know, theoretically, you could just whip it out and pee anywhere, and you chose to pee in the corner of a store. That's so gutter butt behavior. But pee on the floor, like piss on the floor, was not like a rare thing that happened. Somebody shit in a bucket one time. We'll go into that later. But okay, in the last episode, I talked about like I gave like a snippet of how this lady returned or was trying to return an empty packet of chicken. Let's go into that because, babes, that was insane. That was a crazy moment in time. So let me paint the scene for you guys. It was a nice spring day. This is like relatively soon into my like working retail experience. It's a nice spring day. I like worked like a 7 to 3 or an 8 to 4. You know, like I said, I'm loyal to those. I didn't always used to be, but like I am now. You know, what was I doing? I was probably just like minding the business that pays me, like literally like cleaning up, you know, just doing my little cashiering thing because I was still a cashier at the time. This lady comes up, she's like, hey, I have a few returns and they're food. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not like against food returns. Like I get them, especially because like I live in like a touristy area. People come, they stay in their Airbnbs and then they like return the food that they didn't eat, which I get. Like you can't take all the stuff on the plane. You want your money back. I'm here. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a bit wasteful and I do hate that we have to like basically like throw everything out. But like, so be it. That this such is life. This is also not my money. I was like, okay, sure. Like I'll help you out. First thing she pulls out is the like grocery bags. You guys know what I'm talking about, like the produce bags kind of thing. There was 2 avocados in them. Right? Nothing like out the ordinary. However, avocados are 69 cents. Why are you returning 2 avocados? Not only was she returning them, they were also gray. And you're probably like, Kayla, what are you talking about? Avocados are green. Oh, I know. I know what color they're supposed to be. She brings them out rank. Smelling like 10 cans of Bounce That Ass and mold. Smelled rank. She's like, I bought these a few days ago and they already went bad. I looked at her receipt. The receipt's from like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then she like had multiple receipts. Another one of the receipts was from a few days ago. So in my head, I'm like, oh, you bought these 2-3 weeks ago, bought new ones yesterday, and are returning the old ones because you didn't use them in time. Whatever. I was like, fine. I'm not going to argue with you over what is that, $1.68? $1.48? Whatever the total is, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about it because it ain't worth it. They are not going to be upset that I gave you this dollar bag. Like, let's be so real. I was like, okay, cool. Have a great rest of your day because it was rank in there then. And like, I fear I do be gagging. Like, I smell something rank. I'm gagging. I'm dry heaving. Like, I'm actually so embarrassed by that. But like, yeah, no, I can't control that. I'm literally dry heaving. Okay, cool. I still wear a mask, thankfully, though, because it was like early. It was like 2021 spring. So I was like for sure wearing a mask. I was like, okay, cool. Have a great day. She's like, oh, no, I have one more return. I was like, okay, I really want you to leave the store, but like, okay. She pulls out an empty pack, Like, you guys know how, like, chicken, like, when you buy chicken, the little, like, styrofoam things it comes on? She brought that out. And I was like, and what are you returning here? Because what the fuck is going on? And she's like, this was supposed to be a chicken breast. Chicken breast has no bones, and it had a bone in it, and I almost choked on it. I need to return it. And I was like, ma'am, there's no chicken. Like, if you were returning the cutlets, okay. I'm like, all right, but there's nothing in there. I was literally like, am I being punked? Where's Ryan? Like, what are we talking about? And she's like, as you can see, I brought the bone. It could have killed me. And I just need to return it. And I'm like, ma'am, I can't return nothing. I can't give you your money back for nothing. I was like, I can't do anything about that. If you would have cut into the chicken, saw that there was a bone, returned, I think there's probably like four like chicken breasts in there. Return all four. I'd be like, you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because, what do we mean? So I called the manager. I was like, hey girl, she's trying to return an empty packet of chicken. The manager, who became my manager later on, I didn't know her that well at this point, but like knowing her now, I actually see why she responded like that. And she's like, mind you, she's screaming over the walkie, which this is the personality trait. Tell her she can't return it. Okay. I did multiple times. And she's like, okay, well, what's the problem? She's not listening. And now you're not listening. And now I'm getting upset. And I was like, okay, so I need you to come up here and tell her. It took her 5 minutes to get up there. She's literally lollygagging. She's like, Kayla, what you need? Oh my God, please, it's not me, y'all, I promise. But I was like, hey girl, this is the situation that I'm in. I was like, so she wants to return this chicken package because it had a bone in it. But I kind of told her no because there's no chicken in it. She picks up the little styrofoam, kind of tosses it back down. Oh no, you can't return that. And she's like, but there was a bone in it. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Like, y'all don't pay me enough to deal with this. I was like, I'm gonna go. So I like kind of like walked away. She's like, oh, where are you going? Oh, girl, this lady is not having it. And she's like, the manager's like, so ma'am, there's nothing in here for me to return. There's nothing for me to take back. I'm not getting anything out of this return. You ate the chicken and now you want your money back. It doesn't work like that. She's like, I didn't even eat the chicken. Where the fuck is the chicken at then? It literally felt like the Twilight Zone. I was like, there's no way this is real life. This whole ordeal went on for like 30 minutes. Right. The lady ends up leaving. She takes her styrofoam pack and the little bone, which I genuinely feel like didn't even have. Like, you got this bone from like a thigh. Do chicken thighs have bones? I think so. Anyway, they do. Jesus. Free me from that. I was like, girl, you got this from a thigh. What are we doing? The manager's like, no, she ate all that chicken. Hey, she actually hasn't even left the building. She's actually like, I still see her. How about we lower our voices? People returning food, like I said, it doesn't bother me. But it's also just like, have some decorum. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a terrible gag reflex. I do be dry heaving. I catch a whiff of something and I'm like, oh, starting right now. Some man tried to return rotten meat. Like, I smelled it through the bag. He's like, oh, I have this return. Hold on. I have to pause because I'm getting a phone call from my girlfriend and I was simply not expecting that. Okay. Quick little pause. Anyways, this man came to return this expired meat and he's like, oh yeah, I didn't realize it was going to expire so soon. I bought it just a few days ago. And you did what with it a few days ago? Because it smells like you left this shit in the trunk of your car. And I know your car stank. I'm literally dry heaving. And he got an attitude with me. So I got to call the manager. Actually, I got to call the manager story, I fear. Maybe I'm the problem. But you know what? Now what I can do? I am the manager. I did that like a little bit before I was promoted. But like, I am the manager. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, people returning food, again, it doesn't bother me because, like, this is your money. But also, let's have some decorum. Let's not act like sewer rats. You're returning something that expired because you didn't eat it in time. That's not my fault. You got my goddamn store smelling like mold and rat. Like, it stink up in here now. Like, why would you bring that in here? Just throw it away. You gotta just take your L and go. I feel like a lot of, like, things in retail could be, like, absolved if people just, like, took their L and left. But hey, that could just be my thoughts. Anyways, I have, like, so many good stories to tell you guys, but we're gonna take a break because I want to get a little drinky drink. You know, I gotta be like, I was listening to this one podcast. I was like, take a shot every time we, like, get off topic. I just gotta tell you how to take a shot, actually, because I don't get off topic. Well, sort of, but, like, this is about retail, so there's the topic is retail. However, I just had to be like, let's just take a shot, y'all. But we'll be right back. Okay, I have my same drink from last week. The little, like, mixed lavender lemonade with tequila, Megan Thee Stallion's tequila to be exact. So I love her promo though. Hotties drink responsible. I just love that she says hotties, actually, so whatever. Anyways, I have an insane story that I know my best friend is gonna love, and he's gonna be cackling when he listens to this, and probably tells my family because everybody thought this shit was funny but me. Again, let me set the scene for you guys. I was working a 7 to 3. This was in 2023. I am pretty sure it wasn't like summertime, so I was in grad school. However, I was how do I phrase it? I never did my homework, like, last minute, but, like, as a grad school student, like, if you went to grad school, you know that homework is no goddamn joke. So I remember I was literally either, like, reading a book at the registers because it was so slow, or doing my homework because it was so slow. I don't remember which one, but I was doing something that, like, was not work related, which, like, I had literally done all of my things on my, like, kind of like an assignment sheet. I had done everything. So I was like, well, it was like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm just gonna do this because I'm not doing anything else. And don't get me wrong, there is always stuff to do, but, like, I say that as a manager now. I wasn't saying that as a regular team member, so it's fine. So anyways, like I said, it was 9:45, 10 o'clock. I was, like, reading or doing homework or literally something, and this man walks up to me and I see him, so I, like, put whatever I'm doing away. And he's like, can I check out here? And I was like, oh, sure, like, whatever. He was buying, like, light bulbs and batteries or something, like, something so random. And I was like, okay, like, I don't care. Like, if you don't want to go to self-checkout, that's fine. I check him out, you know, he wanted a bag, gave him the bag, gave him his items. He, like, walked away for a few seconds, came right back and was like, hey, can I leave this here really quick? And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. It's not busy, so I don't mind. He's like, I just need to take a seat. He's, like, sat on the windowsill or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever, do you. Like I said, I was doing homework, I was doing something. So I looked down and I looked back up and he was gone. And I was like, oh shoot, this man, like, left his stuff. Like, let me go see if I can find him. Like, I don't know, like, I asked my coworkers, like, do you know when he left? And they're like, no, I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, oh shit, like, he just bought it and he left it. So I walk outside a little bit and I'm like, oh, I don't see this man. And, like, I, like, turned to the left and I was like, oh, hey sir, like, you left your stuff. And he said something. I was like, okay, it'll still be in here because you're being weird, so whatever. And I was like, I like told my coworkers, like, I don't know, I had a weird interaction with him. He's being, like, odd, I don't know, but, like, maybe he just needs some air. He comes back in, he's like, I can't find my car. What? And again, like I said, I'm like, I'm being punked, like, I have to be. He's like, I can't find my car, can you go look for it? And I was like, well, no, what are you talking about? I called the manager. This one wasn't my biggest fan. I have to be realistic. But, like, you know, we could put things aside and do our jobs. Well, I could. I'm not saying the same for her. She had her good days and her bad days. Let's just say that. So I called her and I was like, hey, this man can't find his car. And she's like, well, you can walk the parking lot and go look for it. What are you subjecting me to right now? And I was like, fine, fine. I was like, I don't want to be in there. It's whatever. It's slow. Like, whatever. I'll go take a little walkie walk. I put on our little safety vest and I go, he hands me his keys. Now, what if I was a degenerate? And I was like, I'm going to just take his car. What then? Anyways, he gives me his key. I'm just like pressing the button. I couldn't find it. I like walked. It was a shopping center. I walked that parking lot like crazy. Yeah, it took me like 20 minutes. And I was like, well, I can't find it. So I like called someone, told them the story, and they're like laughing on the phone. It was probably my mom or my cousin. I was on the phone with someone, like, you will never believe my life right now. So I called the manager and I'm like, hey, I still can't find his car. And she's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Great. Thank you so much. And I walked back to the registers and I'm like, sorry, sir, I couldn't find it. And he's like, well, how about you take me in your car to drive around and see and I'll just tell you when I see it. Are you out of your rabbit ass mind? I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Also, I'm at work. And even if I wasn't, I'm going to let you in the passenger seat of I had just gotten my car. Like, when I say just, so it was like April of 2023. I had just gotten it. Because I got that car in March. And I was like, I'm going to take this man in my car and he's going to hold a knife to my neck as soon as we get in there and telling me, drive to this address right now. Like, and then he's going to kidnap me. What the fuck are we talking about? I was like, no, you're insane right now, actually. So I like left the registers. I went to like the clothing area to talk to one of my friends, and I'm like, girl, let me tell you what just happened. And then my best friend came from, I don't really remember where he was at, but he came over, and I was telling them both, I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? So I called the manager, because I was like, girl, he will not leave. He's trying to beg me to drive him around in my car, and I'm not doing that. I need you to tell him that I can't do that. She comes, she's talking to him. I'm talking to my two friends, and I'm just like, bro, like, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm being punked. My best friend's cackling, damn near on the floor. What are you doing? All of a sudden, the manager is talking to this man. All of a sudden, he starts turning around in circles, just like going back and forth. Boom, on the ground. I was like, oh, this is jokes. This cannot be my life. I can't make this shit up. I was like, bro, what is going on? My best friend's balling out. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, and this is how I know I need to go clock out. The manager gets on the walkie. She's like, team, I have a code, whatever medical emergencies are. And I feel like I should know this because I am also a manager now. Code whatever, code whatever. Everybody come to the front. Again, I'm not doing my job, basically. And I'm just like, I'm peeping game. He tells another manager, like, you don't have to call 911. And he's like, yes, I do. What are you talking about? And I was like, and you know what it's time for me to do? I'm going to go ahead and go clock out. Right. Okay, cool. I clocked out for lunch, though I like reversed into my parking spot. And I used to do that because of how like the sun rose. And when I got there like 6, 7 o'clock, the sun would rise directly into the car. Didn't want that. Would just reverse in. Cool, period. Love that for me. So I'm seeing like, I have a 4K vision. At first I was going to do homework or read my book, whichever I was doing. But I was like, actually, let's let me see what y'all got going on. Plus, the paramedics were hot as fuck. I was like, yeah, let me mind the business that pays y'all, actually. I'm watching, they're evaluating this man. They deem him fine. He then sends the paramedic to go look for his car. And I was like, well, I'm not going to waste this man's time. So I ran out my window and I was like, hi, excuse me. And he's like, do you need something? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That was probably crazy of me. I work in there. I looked for his car. It is not here. And he's like, you what? And I was like, he had me like walking in the parking lot looking for his car and I couldn't find it. And he's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Because it seems like the keys aren't working. And I was like, well, he gave me the description and I still couldn't find it. And he's like, great. You think, And I was like, yeah, like I'm done. I don't know if he has cognitive disabilities. I don't know if he has mental health issues, dementia. I was literally just like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I hate this. He's like, okay, we'll figure something out. They figured nothing out. They actually left, which, fair. They deemed him fine. He did not want to leave. He did not want to go to the hospital. Refusing care, yes, your free will, whatever. And they leave. Great. He's still in there. I remember I said he got there like 9:45. It's like 1 o'clock at this time. I had like 2 hours left to my shift. My actual manager is there, and she's like, "Who's this man?" And I explained her this whole story, and she's like, "Are you playing with me, girl? I can't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I fucking tried." And I was like, "Girl, no, right?" I was like, "He had this falling spiel. He's been like going through it. I think he was just trying to buy his light bulbs and batteries, whatever." Couple minutes go by. My manager's like, "Do you have anybody you want me to call?" And he's like, "Oh, my son William." That's literally how he pronounced it. He's like, "My son William, he lives in Connecticut." And my manager's like, "Do you have anybody local?" Because William, and why she said it just like that, I don't know. But she's like, "William will not work right now." Because William knew his daddy did not need to be left alone. Like, let's go, a spade to spade. What is going on? And I'm like texting my family group chat, like, y'all, like, I'm giving them literally like 20-30 minute updates, like, this is what's happening now, like, da-da-da, like, you know, whatever. And they're like, "He playing with y'all." And I'm like, "I don't think he playing with us. I think he's just not well." Whatever. We kind of just like let him sit there. Like, he's sitting at the front. There's like I said, it's a shopping center, and then like the street, and then like another shopping center on the other side of the street. Like, this is like not a, I was gonna say it's not a busy place, but that's literally, I'm like, this is a very busy area right here. Like, it's never really like dead. So there's also like restaurants at one end. Like, this is a busy place. People, I guess he like frequented one of the restaurants, one of the coffee shops at the end of the shopping center. People who also came in, saw him, and was like, "Hey, damn, what was that man's name? I don't even remember." They're like, "Hey, so-and-so, what are you doing? What's going on?" And he's like, "I can't find my car." So they offered to take him in their car and drive him around the lot to see if he found it. They came back because they didn't find it. And I was like, "Great, this man's still in here." So I was like, well, I have literally done my due diligence. I looked for that car. I talked to that paramedic. I did what I could. I made sure he had his bag of items that he purchased, and that's really all I could have done. Good on me, whatever. So 3 o'clock hits. I go clock out because this is above me. And I was like, well, he done damn near worked my entire shift with me, right? So I got home. I ended up taking a nap. I woke up at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock ish. And I texted the closing manager, who happened to be like a really good friend, who used to be like a very, very close friend. I was like, "Hey, is that man still there?" And she's like, "Oh no, he left at like 6 because he found his car parked on the street right by the store." I was like, "Bitch, say something right now." And she's like, "Well, I'd be lying." And I'm like, "He told me he parked in the lot." And then she's like, "Yeah, he was sitting there and randomly remembered, oh my God, I parked on the street." Left and got in his car and left. You mean to tell me that man was there 8 hours? He should have just clocked in. We should have just had him clocked in. Pay him the little minimum wage because he was there for a damn shift. He was there an entire shift. He worked a mid shift sort of deal. It was like a 9:45, 10 a.m. to 6. Are you kidding me right now? And like, after finding out that he like suddenly remembered where he parked his car, I was like, he shouldn't be driving that motherfucker. Because okay, I get like, oh, what aisle did I park on? Like, you're in like this busy shopping center. I get it. What aisle of the lot did I park in? And you gotta like set off your car alarm. I get it. Like, especially if you went to 2, 3, 4, 5 stores in this shopping center, you're like, oh shit, like, which aisle did I park in? But it's not gonna take you 8 hours. And you're also not gonna randomly I didn't even park in the parking lot. I parked on the street. Excuse me? What are you talking about right now? Yeah, that man literally had us on our toes the whole day. And like, my sister loves to be like, he was playing with y'all. And like, part of me wants to think that, but also part of me is like, he need to get off the road because he's gonna forget how to drive. Like, I just feel like you cannot risk it with, like, he was obviously an older adult. I think he was, like, in his 70s. I think, okay. Let's go back a little bit, because he told me he was 74, but he told my coworker 82. So, another reason, again, I was like, he should not be behind that damn wheel. Because either, he could have been just lying for sport. And you know what? If you're going to lie for sport, and you're going to keep this game up, and you're going to do this for a full 8 hours just because you're bored and retired, I got to commend you. But if you're genuinely forgetting, you don't need to be behind no wheel. You need to take your ass at home or to the center, to your child's home. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but you don't need to be behind no damn wheel. And on that note, we're going to take a little break. Okay, before we jump back into the chaos, I've got to put y'all on to something that's been saving my snack life lately. BTR Nation. You already know how wild these ships can get. No time for real food. Energy tanking by hour 3, and suddenly you're surviving on coffee, or in my case, Red Bull, sugar-free, the new pink one, and vibes. And that's where BTR Nation comes in. Their snack bars are clean, plant-based, low in sugar, and actually taste amazing. No weird ingredients, no sugar crash, just real fuel that keeps you going through the madness. My favorite is actually the dark chocolate brownie, 10 out of 10. And because you're part of the Shift Show crew, you get 15% off your first order. Just head to btrnation.com and use code Kayla, Kayla, for 15% off your first order. Snack smarter, stress less, and thank me later. Again, that's code Kayla for 15% off your first order. Thanks! Okay, we're back. But, like, I feel like I actually don't know how long I've been talking, and I actually don't even know if I care right now. I hope my loyal, amazing fans will still listen all the way through, because I just know that y'all are laughing at, like, the pain that I have been through. I know you guys are cackling at me, actually, because, honestly, somebody pissing on the floor, shitting in buckets, returning an empty packet of chicken, the man losing his car, that would have me laughing, too, but I had to live through it, so that, I don't really know if I would laugh right now. But I live through it. But somebody else telling me, I'd be like, yeah, no, that shit's funny as fuck, actually. I just feel like we've just been through so many turn of events. My last story, this is actually a recent one that, like, still has me and one of my work friends cracking up, because a lot of times all you can do is sigh. So, because of the most awful pandemic, I say most awful because fingers crossed is the only one I lived through. I need to stop, living through major historical events and living through things that are in history books. Because, side note, I actually do go off topic. But do y'all remember Pizzagate? I have literally been calling every, like, I don't want to say incident, but, like, incident that, like, happens with me and my family, whatever it is, gate. So, I know, again, side note. We had, like, a possum in my backyard. Well, we had 2 possums. Possum? I don't know. We had critters back there. And I hate possums. So I just wouldn't go back there. My mom hates them too. She called the animal control people. We also have a cat. My lovely Tissue. The animal control guy saw her and was like, hey, cats will probably get stuck in this trap. It was a humane trap. It literally just got them in there. The animal control people came and picked them up. Gone. Forever. Whatever. So Tissue, she sees Tissue, or the guy sees Tissue and is like, oh, the cat's probably gonna get stuck in there, but after the first time, they'll learn. What did she do 40 minutes later? She got stuck. Whatever. What did she do the next day? She got stuck again. I was letting her have it the first and second time because, she's a cat. She's curious. Whatever. She got stuck a third time. And I kind of just hope she doesn't do it again, because it's still back there. It was like a week ago. So she got stuck 3 times. So we were calling that incarceration gate. But do y'all remember Pizzagate, the conspiracy theory that, like, went viral during the 2016 presidential election? Like, it was, like, claiming that the New York City PD discovered, like, a pedophilia ring linked to, like, Democratic members. What the hell is that man's name? Anthony Weiner's emails. Anyways, I say all this to say, because, Pizzagate happened in my lifetime, obviously. I said 2016. It wasn't in my history book, because I graduated high school in 2018. I I'm sick of living through major historical events, including that pandemic. And you know what? My grandmother has lived through two, but I'm not 97, or she's actually going to be 98. I'm not there, and I don't want to do that no more. Anyways, because of the godforsaken pandemic, 93% of stores offer like a order online, you pick it up in store thing. You can order whatever you want that the store has online and go pick it up however many hours later. Well, that only works if, we have an abundance of the item in stock. So, it was a Tuesday morning. Again, I'm painting the scene for you guys. It was a Tuesday morning. I used to not work on Tuesdays, but now I do like rotating days. So like, whatever. I was like in the groove, pushing out, I think like swimsuits, whatever. It was me, my direct manager, and then one of her peers. That was the only like management, and then like cashier, like managers, but whatever. We were the only management on the like sales floor at the time, because it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't even like, hadn't even gone on my first break because I got there at 8. It's like 9 o'clock. I hear my work friend in the electronics department calling like, can I get LOD to electronics? No response. Can I get a manager at electronics? No response. Calls again, and I was like, switch to 3, and I was like, what's going on? He tells me like this customer and their like they're upset about their order not being here. Can I come help them? I was like, okay, sure. Low-key became a manager to be able to tell people no. So I was like, whatever. And I'm like, if you're calling like a manager to come over there, it's obviously like this person's taking no for an answer. I get over there and I'm like, what's going on? Talk to the lady. She's like, hey, I bought this item. It was on sale yesterday, but it's not on sale today. And I was like, okay. She's like, I placed it to like, I ordered online to pick it up here and it's not here. And I was like, oh, that's because we don't have it. And I was like, it tells you it could take us between like however many hours, like 8 hours to get your order ready. Like, we have a lot of things going on. Like, can't just like jump to it immediately. And I was like, that's why it's like, it says that, but also within that 8 hours, people come and shop still. So somebody may have bought it. And then she's like, oh, well, can you give me the price? Like, can you give me yesterday's price? And I was like, we don't have the item. No. The hell are you talking about? I was like, girl, how am I gonna do that if we ain't got the price? Like, isn't the issue that we don't have it? How would I do that? The person who's working over there is like, she wants this white one. And I was like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, it's a different item completely. And I was like, I know it's the same one in your head, but in white, but it's not the same one in our system. And I was like, I have no proof that this was on sale. I know that this was on sale yesterday. I know the black one that you wanted was on sale yesterday because you can show me. And she's like, I live all the way in Palos Verdes. Okay. I came all the way over here. Okay. You passed so many other places to buy this. I don't care. And she's like, and I have another one at a different store. And I was like, okay. What does that have to do with me? She's like, I hear her voice cracking. And I was like, child, what the hell is going on? Okay. I was like, I do apologize, but like, we don't have it. And like, I was like, if you buy it at a different store, they don't like match your price. Like, I get it. You can come back here and I will. However, I don't have the product. I can't give you the sale price. I can't do that. Like, I don't have it. What do you want me to do? Like, shit it out? What the fuck are we talking about? She's like crying at this point. She's like, you know what? This is just great customer service. And I'm like, I'm sorry you're feeling that way, but what do you want me to do? I can't make the product appear. And she's just like boo-hooing. She's like, you need to learn some humanity. Is what you guys are about? And I was like, ma'am, what are you talking about? She's crying. She's like, you know what? It's fine. I'm just going to leave. And I was like, okay. The person working over there bent down, cackling. Mind you, that customer is not very far yet. I was like, shut up. Don't even say nothing. Don't even say nothing. And William, I know you're listening. This is why I don't go over there no more. Nonetheless, that lady was crying. And let's just say that's not my only crying experience, because I don't know what be going on, but customers think, especially ones that are the opposite of me, Them crackers. They especially be crying. They think, oh, I'm just crying my way. Wrong answer. Not with me. And I like I told you, I love get the manager. I am the manager, bitch. Like, I don't say that, obviously. I would like my job still. But, go get the manager. I am the manager. Get another manager. No, there isn't one. Now I'm going to lie. Like, now I'm going to be crazy. Because, no, you're not going to get your way. Because I said no. And even if another coworker is like, they can do it. No. You were rude to me. I'm going to be rude right the hell back. What the fuck are we talking about? On that note, we're going to take a quick break. And I have a story to read. And I haven't read it yet. So, this is going to be live reactions. We'll be right back. I think this is 2 stories. But this is from Lupe. Hi, Lupe. Can't really say where she works because I'm not trying to get sued. Anyways, okay. I feel like this is 2 stories, but we're going to read it all the way through to see. Okay. This happened one day during the week. The night was going so good, like it was slower until the usual. I'm a closing manager. Until, caps, we had a homeless guy come in. I didn't notice him at first, but he was making towers in every aisle of the store. By towers, girl, do you mean he was just stacking shit up? Because now I'm going to go over there and just put it away. Now I'm going to knock it down, actually. I only saw the ones in the market area, so I called my market team and was like, bro, why y'all leave stuff on the floor? Later, they tell me it's a homeless guy. I went over to him in market and I was like, hey, you need help? And he gave me a whole ass story of nonsense. Dead ass nonsense. He then was like, okay, I'm done. You can take this. And he gave me all his stuff. Bro dead ass had a car bumper and he gave it to me. And I was like, oh no, I think that's yours. And he said, nah, I'm okay. Buy a bumper? Do you mean okay. Okay. I drive a crossover. So I'm trying to think of a regular sedan bumper. Do you mean that whole thing? What are we talking about right now? He then said he needed something else, so I followed him to the frozen aisle. He turned to me and was talking about seahorses and said, your back hurts. You're going to wake up pregnant tomorrow. That man was wishing pregnancy on you in this economy? No. Ah! As soon as he said that, he said, okay, now I'm done and left. Didn't steal anything, but he pretty much called me a pregnant seahorse. We would have to close the store. I'm so sorry, friend, but that would piss me off. Because not only did you just hand me a car bumper, this is 2 stories. I'm going to read the next one probably next week. No, we're going to read it now. Right now. Anyways, what do you mean? Please tell me in the comments what you mean by a car bumper. Because in my head, don't you need to hold a bumper with 2 hands? If it's the whole bumper, what do you mean by bumper? I need explanation on that. Please leave me a comment because, excuse me. Okay, the next one. This happened on a Friday. We are usually busier Friday nights. Yes, agreed. I came back from the lunch. I don't know why she phrased it like that. Came back from the lunch and I was the only manager left in the building. I was typing my manager closing notes in an email in the office, and a new employee called me and said that there was a customer who was trying to buy alcohol and didn't want to show ID. Oh, you guys, that's a big thing. A lot of stores are cracking down. I don't care how old the person looks, they need to show their ID, so I know that this is a big thing. I get there and it was an older white guy. I was like, oh, y'all ready to check out? And he was super chill and said, yeah, it's just orange juice and this Alexa speaker thing. So I was like, okay, cool. And read in the total. He then was like, oh, and the vodka that they walked up. And I said, okay, can I see your ID? He was like, I'm 50. So I was like, okay, but I still need to see the physical ID. He was like, oh, why? Caps lock. And I was like, oh, it's policy. He got upset and was like, but I'm 50, not 20. Why do you need my ID? And I hope I read that how he said it because that's what I'm getting from how you typed it. And I said it again. It's store policy. He said that at 7-Eleven, they don't ask for it. So I said, well, you're welcome to shop there, but we need ID. He was like, can I speak to the boss in charge? So I was like, yeah, that's me and I need an ID. He was like, you're the boss? Can you make an exception? And I said no. And then he asked why no exception. And I said, I ain't losing my job and neither are my team members, but you are welcome to shop somewhere else. So we went back and forth for 5 minutes, and then AP came by and asked him, why do I have to... And then AP came by, and he asked them. Why do I have to show my ID? And AP is assets protection, and they said it's policy. Another AP person comes up, and they were dressed in regular clothes. We got the secret shopper sort of deal. And the guy asks him, what are your thoughts on this? And he goes, I don't know, bro. And then the guy says, oh my God, shut up and let's go. And they left with just orange juice. Now you did all that. Because, okay, here's my thing. Here is my thinking. If you are driving to a location, right? Hear me out. You drove to this location to buy orange juice, vodka, and what else was it? An Alexa speaker. You drove here. You have an ID. You have a driver's license. Unless, because you did say this is a white man. Unless, because isn't it? I know, obviously it's illegal to drive without a license. However, if you have a license, and this is coming from a girl who forgets her license all the time. Like, I forget my wallet. I forget my license all the time. So, if I want to buy alcohol and I ain't got a license, I'm kind of shit out of luck. That's on me. Like, that's my bad, wholeheartedly. But is it, like, illegal to, like, I'm licensed. I am a licensed driver. Is it illegal to, like, drive without my license? Like, don't get me wrong. I know the number, so I'm like, whatever. Also, I don't plan on getting pulled over without it. But, like, don't you need to have that? And again, this is coming from somebody who, like I said, I be losing my ID. Should I lose my damn debit card? Like, come on now. But also, you drove here. Presumably, you have your driver's license on you. You're causing a scene for what? And now you have no alcohol. Now you're going to have an even worse night. It just got from worse to worse. You arguing with, I know Lupe, obviously. You're arguing with Lupe, who looks in her 20s. And now you didn't argue, and now you got no liquor. Sucks to be you. I hope he went over to the goddamn 7-Eleven or whatever and bought his liquor, because I hate store policies, because corporate headquarters, whoever the hell is coming up with them, is like, this will make the store better. This is actually going to make my mental health worse, though. But I know you guys don't care. Nonetheless, though, those were great stories. I ate them up. Especially the one, what do you mean by car bumper? Like, I can't picture anything that's not the entire whole bumper. Like, not even to be, like, dramatic, but, like, don't you, he just came in and handed that to you? Again, please let me know, because that's crazy. But I'm not surprised based on where you work, so, you know, whatever. And that concludes episode 3. I can't wait till I've put out so many episodes that I don't remember what episode number I'm at. But that concludes episode 3 of The Shift Show. I hope you guys had a great time. I'm actually no longer drinking my little bev. I now have just a Coca-Cola. I was going to say I just now have Coke, but I know the people that I know are going to be like, Coke? Whole time, I do be drinking too much Coca-Cola, and they know that. But my friends are still like, Coke, so. Anyways, we've had a great time reminiscing on, that wasn't even like, shit, a 16th of the things I used to go through, or the things I still go through. That wasn't even, a bunch of little bullshit just be happening every day, and I feel like, is this really my life? Like, is this real life? And does it get easier? Like, the longer you work there, does it get easier? And I need to know now. Anyways, please like, subscribe. Hopefully you listened all the way through and cackled along with me. You know where to find me. I'm at The Shift Show Pod on Instagram. I'm also simply with 2 S's, 2 Y's, .Kayla on Instagram. And also at theshiftshowpod@gmail.com. Please email me your insane stories. I low-key feel like William was going to email me the story I just told, so now he's thinking something else. Which, I don't be responding to him no more at work, so he got a bunch, because I'm not going over there no more. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. We will see you next week. Bye.